the 4 reasons your strategic plan will go off course next year. For the last 30 or so years, I've spent much of every fall season helping growth leaders conceive and produce their strategic plan for the next year. And in doing so, I've discovered this. Irrespective of the size or nature of the organization, the reasons why otherwise well-written plans fail in execution the next year are unfailingly the same. Whether written on a weekend by a solopreneur, outsourced to a so-called consultant, or laboriously constructed through a series of committees, offsites, and rewrites, whether it's 2 pages of doodles in a Moleskine notebook, a 20-slide PowerPoint deck, or a towering 5 GB multimedia presentation, your strategic plan will end up taking you on the road to nowhere if it falls into any of these 4 traps. 1. Your strategic plan is a reaction to this year's challenges. It's a natural enough thought process. This and that went wrong this year. The sales team underperformed, the warehouse got in the weeds, the church's music ministry imploded, our IT system went down too often, so let's fix that. And voila, you have a strategic plan. Except you haven't. You have a punch list, or a list of tactical measures at best. Strategy doesn't work like a game of ping pong. You don't make strategic progress by batting back what was thrown at you the previous year. That's a fine thing to do, but it's merely a hygiene factor for success. 2. The strategic plan is focused on what you know. Okay, I know that line sounds like one of those smart aleck clickbait come-ons, but the reality is very simple. We all tend to base the starting point for our strategic planning on what we know. Accounting, engineering, outreach, fundraising, sales, marketing, your mileage will vary. So far, so good. It's what happens next that makes the difference. Many strategic plans stop right there, and those universally turn out to be the weakest plans when faced with the reality of execution. Some plans go further and deal with what the team knows they don't know. Maybe you sense that market demographics are shifting, or new technology is entering your industry, or new legislation is threatening you. And while you know about the changes, you also know that you don't know what those changes will mean specifically for your organization. A strategic plan that addresses those issues, usually with the help of a subject matter expert, will be stronger, more robust, and more likely to succeed. The most robust plan, that's one which addresses what you don't know you don't know. Think about it. Where have you stumbled most in recent years? I'd be prepared to bet it was as a result of something you never saw coming in the first place. This linked article will help you overcome that deficit in your strategic plan. 3. Your strategic plan is full of great ideas with no implementation roadmap. When the production of a strategic plan is dominated by the influence of visionary leaders, the result is often one which reads wonderfully, inspiring, sweeping, revolutionary, bold, but which lacks the granular detail necessary to ensure effective execution. Later in this series, we'll look in detail at how to avoid falling into this trap. But in the meantime, have your entire team take the Predictable Success Leadership Styles Quiz, tabulate the results, and see how the team as a whole shows up. If your team skews visionary as a whole, this is likely where your strategic plan will fall down. 4. Your strategic plan has too many moving parts. Conversely, when the strategic planning process is dominated by processors, which often happens in larger organizations, the end result is often so detail heavy with so many moving parts that it's unimplementable. The plan simply sinks into oblivion under its own weight. The answer to both 3 and 4 above is to ensure that you have the third type of leader, the results-oriented, real-world operators, intimately involved in the planning process. They act as your best gatekeepers to reality and will ensure the plan can actually be implemented in the real world. The trick is in getting them to the table in the first place, as operators have a propensity for action and to get easily frustrated in meetings in general and in strategic planning meetings in particular. In the next post, we'll start the process of putting the strategic plan together, but in the meantime, what about you? Which of these traps have you fallen into in the past, and how are you ensuring you don't do so this time around? Let me know in the comments below.